A Dallas patient hospitalized with the Ebola virus has died. Welcome to your lunch break. I'm Tanya Rivero. A Texas hospital says the first Ebola patient diagnosed in the U.S., Thomas Eric Duncan, has died. Duncan was taking an experimental drug at Texas Health Presbyterian, but perished early this morning. This comes amid news authorities in Spain are quarantining 2 more medical workers at a Madrid hospital. And as Secretary of State John Kerry makes an international appeal for more investment in combating Ebola. Joining us now with more details is WSJ's Jeannette Neumann and board-certified internist Dr. Nancy Simpkins. Thanks to both of you for being with us. Doctor, I want to start with you. What details do you have of Duncan's case?
Thanks, Tanya. Unfortunately, this is a very unfortunate story. The question is whether or not this was a delay in treatment due to the fact that he first came back to the States September 20th, first had no symptoms, and then first sought treatment 4 days later, was then sent out of the emergency room, had a 48-hour delay, then returned back 48 hours later, very ill. So what the question is, was it a delay in treatment that caused the severity of his illness?
Well, it is interesting because according to reports, he was further along with the disease when he was admitted to the hospital than, say, Kent Brantley, the first American flown back to the U.S. for Ebola treatment. What does this tell us about the importance of early detection of Ebola?
Well, it's very important. And as a matter of fact, the problem I think that was lying with this Texas patient was the history. Where in the chain of command did the history go wrong? The history is exceedingly important to healthcare workers so we can make our best guesstimate as to whether or not a patient is at risk of having Ebola.
Yes, there will be a lot of review going on here for sure. Jeannette, I want to turn to you now. Spain has recently quarantined 2 more workers over Ebola concerns. Can you tell us a little about what's going on there in Madrid?
That's right. There were two additional medical workers who were quarantined. One last night, another one again this morning. One was a nurse's assistant. The other was a nurse. Both were colleagues of the woman, and also a nurse's assistant, who has been diagnosed with Ebola, who's the only patient known in Spain to have Ebola. All 3 of those women were part of the team that took care of a Spanish missionary who was flown from Sierra Leone to Madrid to be treated for Ebola, and he died on September 25th. And it's believed that, and authorities are still investigating, that the nurse's aide who had caught Ebola from treating this missionary who'd come from Sierra Leone.
And what's the status on the dogs that were involved here? Were they put down?
From what the city government has told us, they are still planning to put the dog down, and the dog is, of course, it's the dog of the nurse's aide who's been diagnosed with Ebola. She and her husband, actually, as well, is also under quarantine for preventative measures. And they left the dog in their house. The dog's name is Excalibur. The city authorities have told us they're still planning to put him down, but as of yet, we don't have any news that has in fact happened. It's stoked a lot of interest here in Spain, as well as actually abroad, as people have kind of rallied, on Twitter, and actually people have shown up here in Madrid at the couple's house, and just as a way to kind of express that they want Excalibur, not that they want him to let him kind of run around, but that they want him quarantined rather than put to death.
All right, Jeannette and Dr. Simpkins, thank you so much for that.